All right, so we want to get all of these equations to be in slope-intercept form. And so slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So this is what we want them to look like. So I'm going to take the first one. So I'm going to do y minus 5 equals 2 times x minus 3. And the first thing I notice is that the slope-intercept form, what we want it to be, doesn't have parentheses. So that is why I'm taking that outside number and I'm multiplying it by the first number inside. So 2 times x is going to be 2x. And then 2 times negative 3, because minus and a negative means the same thing, that is going to make that a minus 6. So by taking that outside number and distributing it to the stuff inside of the parentheses, it gets rid of the parentheses altogether. So now I'm going to bring back the other half of the equation that I've been ignoring for a minute there. It's still not quite where we want it to be, excuse me, because slope-intercept form has the y isolated. The y is by itself. So we need to get rid of this minus 5 that is sitting there hanging out with the 5. The opposite of a minus 5 is a plus 5, of course. We're going to do the opposite of that minus 5. What you do to one side, of course, you have to do to the other side. I'm getting ready to write something in red because it's incorrect. So if you're doing what I'm doing at home right now, don't write down what I'm getting ready to do. Okay, a lot of people think they need to add 5 there also, because that is technically the other side of the equation, so that makes sense. But remember, you can't add an x and a number together. So that means that we are not going to add 5 to the 2x, but we are going to add it to the number that is on the other side. So the minus 5 and the plus 5 are going to cancel each other out. So you've got y equals 2x isn't changed. Nothing happened to 2x because we didn't add anything to it or anything, right? But we did add 5, so negative 6 plus 5 is a negative 1. So there's 2 steps that I need to see on your paper for you to get full credit. I need to see that you distributed so that you got rid of those parentheses, and I need to see that you isolated the y by getting rid of whatever it was that was with the y. So this time we do need work added. You can just upload a picture of your scratch work. You can just upload it to the assignment so that it's already attached. So let me show you. Oh wait, I'm going to pause here for a second. Anybody still writing any of this down? Shoot me a message right now. Not in the chat. I can't see the chat. Shoot me a message on Remind real quick if you need me to pause before I get rid of what's up here. So I'm going to show you how to use the spreadsheet to check and make sure you're doing it right at the same time. We're good? Okay, I'm assuming we're good. Nobody's telling me to stop. All right, so you're going to take the answer that you got. Yep, you're absolutely right, Alex. I saw you guys doing a whole bunch. All right, so now I get to see like all your comments and stuff. All right, so y equals negative, or I'm sorry, not negative, 2x minus 1. No spaces, nothing like that, because formatting is picky. Click. And if you did it correctly, then you're going to see that little pieces of the puzzle, or of your a little picture starts to appear over there in the side. So if you type the wrong answer in there, nothing happens. So if you click your answer in there and nothing appears, you know that you've done something wrong, you can shoot me a picture of your work, and I'll help you figure out what you did wrong. Okay, I want to do the second one also because it involves a fraction. And what we need to do I gave you on your classwork tab something very important that I'd like to remind you about. And it's this under helpful tools and links. I finally moved it up to the top of your Google Classroom. Right here, it's the very bottom. There's that calculator that helps you work with fractions easily. So please use it. Okay? I wish that we had time to go back and review operations with fractions. Since I only see you twice a week, we don't even get, no, if something appears, it's right. So if you put the answer in there and nothing shows up, that means you did something wrong. So see how I put the right answer in here and part of it came up? Yeah. So let's just say, so I'm going to put a wrong answer in here for the second one. Well, I'll just put this 2x minus 1. I'll put in the answer from before. So I clicked enter and nothing additional popped up. So that's how I know that I didn't do something right, because none of a new piece of the picture didn't appear. So let's talk about how we're going to do number 3. Hopefully you have that calculator open because it's going to be helpful. I'm going to show you in just a second. All right, so I'm going to take the second problem. I'm going to write it real big for you guys. Not in that color, though. So y plus 5 equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. All right, so this is what we've got. It's in point slope. We want it to look like that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do once again is ditch those parentheses. We need to do that by doing distributive property. So the first part of the distributive property is pretty easy. To do 2/3 times x, we'll just write the negative 2/3 and the x sitting next to each other. But what people tend to have a problem with is when they have to do the 2/3 times negative 3, because a lot of us didn't necessarily get the best background in middle school math, and so fractions might be an issue for us. I wish we had time to review those, but we don't, so let me show you, or remind you, I guess, how to use that calculator to help you. So I'm going to get off this screen for a second and go to the calculator. So we're doing negative 2/3 times 3. So for starters, you're going to hit that fraction button. So it's the button that's right underneath the wrench right here in the top right-hand side. So you're going to hit that button that looks like a fraction right there. When you do that, all right, and then I'm doing negative 2/3, so negative 2. Then I'm going to use my cursor to go to the bottom. So it's negative 2/3. Notice how the little blinking part is still stuck here in the fraction. Make sure you hit the arrow to go over to get it out so that it's over to the side. And then hit times. So the multiplication button, and then negative 3. And then voila, the answer appears right there. So use the fraction button that is on that calculator that I'm giving you. All right, so let's go back here. Back to where I left off. So if I've got, so let me rewrite that. Oh, sorry, when I write on there, unfortunately, then I lose what I had before. That's why I don't use this tool very often, but it's helpful to write on top of other stuff. All right, so I'm going to go back to the original problem. My screen's being kind of janky. Hold on. So y plus 5. Oh, my goodness. Come on, iPad. Keep it together. So y plus 5 equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. All right, so we're doing that distributive property. So we've got negative 2/3 x, and then we just did the multiplication in the calculator so that we know that's plus 2. Bring down the y plus 5. I have no idea why this is now being so ugly. Worked fine all day. All right, and so now we need to get the y by itself. So we're going to do minus 5 on both sides. And I didn't leave myself a lot of room there, did I? So my final answer is y equals, because the y is going to be by itself, the slope stays the same, negative, oh my gosh, this is killing me. Hold up, I'm going to type it right in here. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's decided to act up, you guys. Thanks for being patient with me. There we go. So that's what I had. So after I did my distributive property. So now I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Remember, you won't subtract the 5 from the x. So this will just be y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. Because it's a positive 2 minus 5. You were super close though, Alex. It was just, it's a positive 2 minus 5 instead. So let's type it in the box. I love that you're participating. It really makes me feel like I'm actually talking to somebody instead of just a bunch of screens. So I appreciate it, Alex. Minus 2/3 x, and then minus 3, and then look. When I hit enter, more of the picture appeared, so that is how you know you're doing it right.